After her death, the girl's soul saw that the young emperor had grown white hair overnight. He held her cold hand and refused to let go. After his tears dried up, the emperor pressed the sword against his neck. The girl wanted to stop him, but the emperor had already made up his mind, because he could not bear to live in a world without her. The next second, the girl woke up in tears. Looking at her young face in the mirror, the girl realized she had returned to 10 years ago. She hugged the emperor and cried, saying she had had a terrible dream. The emperor comforted her gently, mentioning that her best friend would enter the palace the next day. Hearing this, the girl felt seriously worried. In her previous life, she had given the position of empress to her best friend. But for years, the emperor favored only the girl alone. Even though the scheming woman became the empress, she never got a shred of his love. Consumed by jealousy, the scheming woman disguised herself as a maid and secretly killed the girl. Thinking of this, she asked the emperor if he could cancel the scheming woman's entry into the palace, but her request was firmly rejected. The next day, the girl purposely passed by the palace gate. When the maids saw the favored concubine's sedan chair, they all knelt down respectfully. However, the scheming woman not only refused to kneel, but stepped forward and called her by name to emphasize their closeness. To her surprise, the girl asked coldly who she was. Thinking it a joke, the scheming woman claimed to be her best friend, but the girl interrupted, ordering her to kneel at once. The scheming woman had to kneel down reluctantly to pay her respects. She watched the girl leave arrogantly, and her hatred grew even stronger in her heart. In the evening, the emperor came to the girl's palace as usual to stay with her. He patiently taught her to read and write, until it was late at night. When he was about to leave, the girl deliberately said there were still some parts she didn't understand, but the emperor saw that she was stalling for time. He criticized her sharply for learning to lie. Hearing this, the girl knelt on the ground and begged him not to be angry. She said in grievance that her knees ached from kneeling. As expected, the emperor smiled and lifted her into his arms. He knew she just didn't want him to see that scheming woman, and he was willing to be deceived by her. That night, the emperor stayed in her chambers. Learning of this, the scheming woman went to his palace to wait for his return. She insisted that she wouldn't be his woman if he did not love her. The emperor agreed, but to save her from being laughed at by other concubines, he invited her to stay in the palace for the night. The scheming woman was convinced her plan had succeeded, for men always fall in love with the women they can't have. However, she would never know that the emperor did so only to make his girl jealous. As he expected, the girl anxiously asked her maid to rehearse the confession scene with her. She lied about having a serious illness and wanted to see the emperor for the last time. When he arrived, the girl deliberately fell into his arms as she had planned. Before he could question her, she declared she suffered from lovesickness, an illness only he could cure.